into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Everybody, welcome back to another, it's the season finale of Sense8 here on AFTERBUZZ TV. I am your host, Alexis Torres. You can find me all over social media as Torres890. Here to my left is my one and only Cameron Lewis.
Your only Cameron.
My only Cameron, because you're at
the only Cam Shaft, Twitter and Instagram. You can follow me there.
I had a reason for doing it.
We're missing Nicholas Grava tonight.
We're missing my other brunette. I'm so mad that you are not here right now because, I mean, I know why you're not here and it's okay because I'd rather you be resting.
He is here in spirit.
Send your love to @Nicholas Grava because he has an audition tomorrow. Cross your fingers that he gets it. So send him a tweet, send him a Facebook message, I don't know, something. Send him some love.
Send him a thing.
And tell him to break a leg at his audition tomorrow. Not literally, though, of course.
Well, maybe, no, I'm just going to tease this as a possibility. In this finale after show,
no.
Will Nicholas Grava Sense8 and just appear?
And just show up?
Will he just show up?
Maybe.
I don't know, America. You decide. Thank you for the beverage, by the way.
Yes, I brought some beverages today.
Celebrate Sense8 finale. So glad season 2's on the way after tonight's crazy episode.
Yes, because the way that it ended, I was like, so that's it? Like, straight up.
I know.
I was like, that's not how that works. But it's all good because I'm super excited to have you two back with me, or us three talking about the episode.
I know.
Or episodes to come. I also have some gifts from some people that I'm going to share
a
little later on in the day. But obviously we're talking about episode 12, the season finale. It's called I Can't Leave Her, which was a very heart-wrenching action. There's so much stuff going on.
There was too many things
happening. Usually, what we usually do for the episode, I usually recap it by person, but because it's really hard to do that, we're just going to go as the episode started.
Let me just say, I think that just initial reactions to this one, last week and this week, episode 11 and 12, I have literally been glued to the TV.
See, this is my qualm, guys. You can hate me if you want. I don't like that they waited till episode 8 to have
they should
all
have
of
done
this
it
stuff
earlier. You're
to
right.
come in
You're
earlier,
totally right.
Because I feel like I'm not saying that it didn't sell me on it because obviously, we're hooked. We're doing the after show. That's a thing. I just wish that the action would have started a little earlier for me.
You know what's interesting about that, though? I actually thought about that exact same thing while I was watching this episode, but I wonder how we would feel about that if we binge watched it like everybody else has. Because we've been watching over the last 12 weeks. We've been going episode by episode instead of watching, 4 or 5 in one sitting. Mm-hmm. And so I'm sure it's a different viewing experience. You probably don't see, the action coming so late if you're binging it on Netflix. You probably think it comes sooner. But by the way, this is just like one giant movie.
No, and that's a lot of people have been telling me to watch the Creating the World on Netflix, which I did watch after the finale. The reason I didn't want to watch it before is because I knew that they were going to throw some spoilers in there. So obviously it makes sense if you binge watch all the episodes and then watch Creating the World. But that's what I did. And I loved, and I told Nicholas and Cameron to definitely watch it whenever they get the chance, but definitely loved how they filmed it. They filmed it by location. Yeah. Which is crazy.
Yeah, which is insane.
And I loved that, just everything about it, just the not the religion of it, but just like the structure of it.
The mythology of it.
Yeah, is just bonkers, just to think about it now.
Well, that's something that I think... we're getting super prophetic about the series, and we haven't even gotten to the episode yet. I promise we're going to do that.
I am the whispers. Sorry, if you can see what's going on in the chat. Apparently, everyone. I have not binged it, guys. That's what's happening. But anyway, no, everyone's like, "Oh, whispers got Nicholas. This, and this," and I'm like, "Yeah,
it's possible."
He might just be saying the audition is a cover story. I agree with you, Andrew. I think it might.
Well,
be
whispers might just pop in on this. I don't know.
No, I'm not in. Guys, I didn't binge it. I swear. That's what everyone's talking about in the chat. No, I made sure that this was. I actually don't like to binge watch shows because I feel like
it's
I watch
so
it
much better. Looking forward to seeing it next week.
Yeah, I mean, like I usually don't wait. Like I can't do it like within like a day or two. I need to like I usually do like an episode a day. That's usually what I do. But for this one, because and then I do other after shows. I like to do it week by week. But we should jump into it. Because,
let's do it. Let's hit it.
Holy crap!
So much happened.
So we obviously open up with young Will looking outside on a snowy evening, maybe morning. Can't really tell with what day it, what the day is when it's snowing out. But he's with a therapist, and he just talks about. The therapist brings up the fact of the dad who couldn't find Sarah, I think was her name.
Sarah Patel.
Yeah.
Patrell.
And the fact that he's, Will is seeing this girl. I'm kind of sad they didn't really go into it more about the fact that he could see Sarah, but
well, especially because earlier in the series they made it seem like it was a bigger deal. And then when they talked about it, there wasn't really anything else said.
Yeah.
Other than the very creepy girl appearing in the window.
I knew, but you had to expect when he said, "Oh, can you see Sarah?" I'm like, she has to show up at least a little bit. But
which, by the way, kudos to that therapist, chillest guy in the universe. Like
that. Do you see her? Is she in the room
every
right now?
therapist needs to be like that. Like, he was like so, just like, listen, Will. I mean,
baby Will was depressing, Andrew. He was just kind of like
he was.
Yeah.
He was.
No. Yeah.
I had the same haircut as Baby Will.
Did you?
When I was that age.
Oh, it's adorable. But yeah, so obviously he lied, and he wakes up in an airplane, and he's in Iceland. And I was like,
surprised or not?
No. I was like, it had to happen.
Yeah.
I said that they had to meet up, or part of the group's got to meet up eventually. This is BS. The fact that they're like, oh, we're just going to go a whole season without actually meeting up with each other. But I do like how flawless it is now that they can just chime in.
God.
It's so great.
It's like watching an orchestra. Like, I love it so much. And I loved, like, when it's happening, specifically in this episode for me, and we're getting into this right now pretty much, but when it's happening between Will and Nomi, and Amanita, who's not even a sensate,
she's just hanging out.
Freaking killer.
She's just sitting there on her computer.
It's awesome.
Just like, I got you a car.
The part where, and we'll get to it, but I have to say it since we're talking about this, the part where he's going into that compound and he's passing the phone through the thing and she's feeding him lines and he's saying that, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's just like having someone like in your ear, but like no frequency problems.
Except that they're in,
they're
San
in
Francisco.
That's so weird.
And you're in Iceland.
Oh, so weird. But I love it. But like, yeah, I love how Amanita's just, she had a plan. She's hands-on. She's here for the plan. She's 100% in. Like, hashtag relationship goals. God.
Alexis.
And I love how they were like, oh, we put it on, gosh, I forgot that doctor's name, but they put it on his credit card and she's like, so obnoxiously.
Metzger,
I was like,
Dr. Metzger.
Yeah. And I love how she's just like,
yeah, it's just like,
she's so adorable.
Nice car.
I was sitting there going, isn't that a little bit kind of not really keeping you under the radar, but having a very red, expensive Porsche? Like, but
I would have gotten like a 93 Focus, beaten up to death, driving into the compound like, oh, this yoo-hoo again.
What's this guy doing here? But no,
not the car that James Bond would drive.
I mean, it was a very beautiful car though, and I'm so sad because they were like, oh, guys, all they really care about cars. I'm like, I'm sorry. I knew what kind of car that was, and it was gorgeous, and I'm really sad that they had to sit there and watch the smoke come out of it. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Speaking of that real quick, car crash. We saw, before we got to all this, I completely forgot, Riley's flashbacks.
Whoa. Because before it was in parts, so we didn't get to see the full thing of like start to finish. So that, at first I was kind of like, why are we seeing this again? And then I didn't realize, like, oh yeah, they technically only showed us parts of it. But seeing it from when like she was already like her contractions were real close, obviously. And no, you don't want me to talk about it?
No, you can. I'm just reacting.
He looks like he's just gonna vomit on this table. And just it was so cute how he was just like, I'm here to take care of the both of you.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be, you're not a hex, you're magic. And I was like, oh, you are magic. But the bad thing is, as soon as you said that, just hit that giant wall of ice. And I am so surprised that she lived through that. Because that thing toppled down that mountainside. I was like, oh my God, she should have been dead.
It's luck of the draw.
Oh man. But of course.
God, that was
and then of course we're actually giving birth. Oh God. Oh Lord of mercy. Sitting there, I was just like, what's happening right now?
In an
What's she doing?
upside down car.
Yeah.
With your deceased husband next to
you. And you're just like, all right, well.
Cutting the umbilical cord with whatever you can find.
Oh God.
Hell.
Yeah, like straight up, I was just like, I'm gonna throw up. But it was still like a powerful moment of just like, most women, they're like, if you don't give me these drugs to get me through this, I will scream and kill somebody. She was like, I'm in the cold, my dead husband's next to me, this is happening.
Allow me to get inappropriate for a second.
Please, good sir. Be inappropriate.
The views and opinions expressed by Cameron Lewis do not reflect those of AfterBuzz TV.
Thank you for that. I'm gonna drink now.
It's management or the board of directors. I find it hard to believe that she could give birth that fast. That's not a thing, is it? She gave birth so fast. It was like water broke. Whoa! Hear it? Whoa! And then like 5 seconds later, she was cutting the umbilical cord. Is that?
I didn't even think about that, actually.
It happened so fast. Is it because maybe it was like the rush of the car crash and then it's like, heightened? Whoa!
I'm going to say, because I don't, as a person who has not had a baby, I would say... Neither. I mean, yeah. Sorry. I'll get to that later with Will in the car, but... Sorry.
Oh my God.
That was a great point.
Yes.
But as a person who has had friends who've had kids and cousins, aunts, things like that, and things like that. I know that it definitely every woman is different. Some women can take up to like 24 hours of labor, 15 hours of labor, or you could just be like, dang, I wish Nicholas was here. There's a scene in Friends where she sneezes and then it's like, oh, the baby's here, but obviously that's more comedic, but it depends on the woman. So yeah, it could have been the fact that she had adrenaline and that the car crash and whatever. I don't personally know, and I guess I didn't think about it because I was so into what was happening. I didn't even think about the fact of how long it took her to give birth. But I see it as movie time or TV time. We gotta get it out there. But I forgot who was telling me in the chat about Riley. Oh, it was Andrew not Andrew.
Thanks everybody for commenting.
Yeah, we really appreciate you guys being in the live chat. Shweta said, Alexis, you said in the beginning you didn't really connect with Riley's story and it was the most powerful one. I will admit, I remember saying that mostly about Kala, but I do distinctly remember me saying something about Riley, and I think it was because we didn't really get much of Riley's story until the middle to the end of the series.
She was like a seemingly just troubled person, number 4.
I mean,
that was it.
And that's why I feel bad that I obviously if you watch from day one when we started recapping it to now, our opinions have changed a lot about the characters. Like, even though Kala was also not a very powerful person, her story still moved me because she was a very mousy person, and she has learned, especially in this episode, to be more aggressive. Oh, sorry, that sounded like a cheerleader in my head. Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
Yeah.
And the fact that she I think we just made a cheer without Nicholas here. Get with it, buddy. But yeah, I just feel like these characters have grown, but within from episode 6 to 12, like a 6-episode timeline. No? I feel like it went from just introducing them and giving them little tidbits, and then all of a sudden just a giant rush into their lives, which is fine. I'm not complaining.
I think that was purposeful, because think about a world where this show, first of all, is already hard enough to sell to people, I think, because it's like there's so many things happening. So in the first couple episodes, I think what they're doing most, from what I think I can tell, which I'm no expert, but is that they're setting up the world, and you have to buy that these rules exist. You have to buy that sensates exist and the whispers exist, and you have to be sold on this entire world and the fact that it exists, and then you can start to learn the characters. And I think that's what they built up. Now, granted, I wish it would happen a little bit quicker.
No, again, I don't want to be that negative Nancy and just be like, oh man, the show is this and the show is that. This show was very good. I am extremely hooked. I want to see more. I just feel like I felt bad giving my opinion about these characters early on because I didn't really have enough information to go on. It's like judging someone on their first first impression. So I apologize if I seem like, oh, I hate everybody.
How dare you?
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean it, I swear. But back to the story. So obviously, Riley's on her way. Yrsa tells her to take her own life like Angel did, pretty much. Like,
I forgot her name. Yrsa?
Yrsa. It's YRSA, I'm going to say. Yeah. I remember. I always keep the captions on now because it's way too low for me to be like, I don't know what's going on.
Have to.
And obviously she grabs one of the guards' guns and almost pretty much like took some people out. I love how I didn't think she was gonna shoot, and then one of them just kind of like, she just like, bing, and I was like, oh my god, she just tried to shoot somebody.
I respect that about this show.
Yeah.
In a weird way, is that there's not a whole lot of like point and threaten for 10 minutes and then shoot. It's like,
it's like,
either do it or don't.
Okay.
It's a weird thing, but I like it.
Did you think she was gonna go through with it this early in the game? At least in this episode?
No.
Okay.
I don't, not
and also,
really.
And also, because a lot of people were telling me after watching the whole series and stuff, do you think it was right of Will to go to Iceland?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Some people would disagree. Some people were like, that's really dumb for Will to come to Iceland. And I was like, but why?
I would have worn, like, polarized sunglasses. Maybe that helps when you're accidentally looking into
oh my gosh, that was so annoying. We'll get to that. Anyway, we'll get to there. Anyway, so Will stops her, obviously, and waits, and so she decides to wait till he comes to her rescue. So obviously we get a little break from all that crazy mess, and we get to Wolfie, where we left off from episode 11, where he's inside talking to his uncle.
His uncle,
okay. Yeah. And he's with his bunch of henchmen hanging out, just, putting some firewood on the fire. I guess that's what they were doing. I didn't really know. I thought, I was like, isn't it hot right now? Like, what are you doing lighting the fireplace? It was weird.
It's a thing people do in big, rich houses.
Apparently so.
Let me stoke the fire. Whiskey, anyone?
Oh, gosh.
Wolfgang, welcome.
And
caviar.
We got into a whole thing. And, like... So he had this plan that he was just gonna run and gun, pretty much, I was like, that sounds like Wolfie. That sounds like a thing. And that didn't work out very well, obviously, because he did shoot some people died, but apparently his uncle was wearing a
bulletproof vest. Now,
Thoughts? Comments?
I mean,
concerns?
I'm just saying,
questions?
if I'm his uncle who's obviously involved in some bad stuff,
yeah,
I would constantly have a bulletproof vest on.
No, but
everybody seemed to be stumped about that in the show, but I'm like,
no,
that
just
seems
Wolfie.
reasonable.
Just Wolfie. He was just like, what is this? It's, who wears bullet vests in real life? I'm like, he obviously...
He knows that people hate him.
Yeah, he, like, deals with bad people all the time, so it makes sense.
In addition to that, I thought that Wolf... he got through more people at first than I thought he would ever be able to. He was mulling through a couple. He got into it after that, but... I thought, okay, they're gonna take him down the minute he walks in the door.
Yeah.
But hey, he did it.
But thank you, Taylin. I forgot to mention that the fact that when Riley was about to shoot somebody, the whole cluster showed up. That was very interesting.
Including Jonas. Jonas was there too.
Yes, he was. I mean, Yrsa was there too. So I mean, literally everybody showed up at this one moment. I was like, all right,
yeah,
everybody just here. So obviously, Will was the one that warned him that he was wearing a bulletproof vest, and the rest of them are showing up, and he didn't really have a plan. So he ran into the kitchen. Poor chef lady. She was hiding in the closet or pantry, and she was just like, no. And he's sitting there like, okay. I'm effed. I don't know how.
Yeah.
And I love how Kala showed up. I guess she was at work, and she's like, "What's happening?" And he's like, "I guess I'm here to say goodbye." And she was like, "Not having it." She's like, "No!" And she like runs into, well, not runs, but she like leaps to the cabinet underneath to find all the cleaning.
Yeah,
stuff?
it's like cleaning supplies and spices.
Yeah. I was like, look like cumin and a couple. I'm not going to name the
spices.
It
did look like cumin.
It did look
cinnamon
like cumin
and
some other stuff. I don't know what it was.
And spices.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of seasoning and spices they were, but it was really cool to watch her make an actual bomb.
Freaking awesome.
That was crazy.
It's like watching Bill Nye the Science Guy. I wanted her to turn to the camera and be like, "Step 1." It kind of scared me though. Carla, the science gal.
Hey.
Oh Lord,
the science girl. Color. Sorry. Okay. We're getting into chants today. But what did you think?
It's kind of scared me because I'm like, I have a bunch of that stuff at home.
But I mean, people
don't light a match.
No, I mean, obviously there is some things that we don't know what goes with which, but I mean, that's why they say don't try this at home. Like that's what they do. And most of the things every single flammable thing has it's flammable on the bottom.
But she knew exactly what to put together so quickly.
But I mean, that's what I liked about the fact that I forgot actually was that she is pretty much like a chem major to a point.
And it was nice to see that instead of Rajan. Because I was kind of getting bored with that.
Well, because I knew she was important. I knew that. Yeah. I for the longest time, I completely forgot what she was important for. Because everyone has their thing. Nomi's a hacker. Wolfgang's pretty much a thug. Lido is, he's a charming mofo.
He's an actor. He is bold.
Yeah, he can lie his way through to anything. Obviously, Will's a cop. Riley
kicks butt.
Yeah, and then we have Riley, who's kind of the center of everything, and she's just a very she's a very positive light. And I was like, what does Kala do? Are you heart? I don't know. Go planet.
Which one is the personal chef?
Yeah, I need to know who's going to be doing the cooking. It'll probably be Hernando, but anyway.
Poor Hernando.
He's fine now. He's totally fine. She blows some people up pretty much, and we find some pretty rough stuff about Wolfgang, but I liked that. I like that there was one person in the group who's not clean cut, and it's not sugar coated. He is I mean, it's really weird because I want to get your input on this. Is it weird that I had no remorse when he killed his dad? Like whatsoever.
No, I think that was the point.
Because I know, I had to watch this with my family, and they were like, "Oh my God, he just killed his dad. He's a monster." And I was like, "But his dad was a monster, and it makes sense."
No, I that's
too much.
The reason they showed that
little,
scene was to make you feel okay about him doing that to his uncle, because his dad.
I still think it was a little overkill, though. Don't you think? It's a little aggressive. It was like Inglourious Bastards.
It was like, my father was a monster, so am I,
that
so
line
are
is
you.
So good.
Oh, boom, 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 boom. Like, holy crap.
He was moving his arm as he was shooting his face off. Dear God. I mean, young Wolfgang / young Wolfie, he was quite, those eyes, there's just cold in there. I mean, they're blue as all hell, but like, no feeling whatsoever after killing his dad, which makes sense. And then Uncle was next, and I love and hated that Kala was in the room there.
I know, it's like
it was weird for me.
It makes sense why she was there, and for personal reasons, I didn't want her to be there. But for show reasons,
you
I'm like,
to see that, and it made sense of why Wolfie, even though he loves her, showed like, hey, even though I deeply care about you, we're not supposed to be together because I am a terrible person. I am okay with killing people. That is a thing. I mean, he just used an RPG to freaking blow up his cousin. I mean, he was a douche. RPG. Yeah.
Just saying.
Sorry. Like, it's
just saying.
Just rocket launcher. Bye, cousin. Like, straight up. And
I love it.
So obviously we cut back to he's in the car. Sadly enough, obviously our doctor is in, or Whispers is in the helicopter, and he's already made it to the building, and he's like, crap, I didn't make it. And Neats had a great idea of cutting the oil line. And I was sitting there going, why did you need to do that?
Now, I was really, I still kind of
it's a nice car.
About this. Yeah, that was, how about that whole thing?
Yeah.
I was,
it worked.
God. I was kind of confused by that whole thing because it's like, I still don't understand how it worked really. Because it was like, hey, if you make the car smoke, it'll draw less attention as you drive in. Really? Because I think it would drive more attention as you're driving in if the car is on fire while you're driving it down the straight road. That part I didn't get for that reason. Not me.
Yes. Sorry, I'm trying to respond to people, it's like,
So many chat people, thank you for commenting. But yeah, it's like the smoke makes the car more visible.
No, but it made more sense when he drove in because it's like, oh man, my car, it's all messed up. And so he was just kind of waiting there, and they were all just kind of marveling at the fact that the car was just like, oh man.
I love when he walked past everybody and he saw that guy. He was like sneaking in between cars, and he saw the guy. He's like, yo man, yeah, look, it's totally effed up.
And he's like, oh no, and like ran over, and I was like, oh.
I love it.
So, I mean, she was right. Yes. R.I.P. Nice red car. What did I forget? What's happening? Everyone's throwing things at me.
Everybody's going crazy on the YouTube chat. While we're pausing for a second to read the YouTube chat, let me remind everybody to subscribe to the podcast in iTunes. And while you're there, you can comment, rate us, give us a couple gold stars. Let us know what you think. And you can search for other shows at AfterBuzz TV. We do so many. All your favorite TV shows. Superfans covering those for you. And we'll be back for season 2, so subscribing now is not such a bad idea. We'll pop up on your phone whenever we're there. And thanks everybody for your comments throughout the season. We've gotten a bunch of reviews. I think 9 or 10 reviews, Alexis. So we thank everybody for doing that. That's really awesome. Appreciate the support. Keep using that hashtag ABTVSense8. If you hear any news between now and season 2, we want to know about it.
Yeah, guys, even though we might not be doing the after show until season 2 starts, we want to make sure that we're on top of everything because we are going to be doing other after shows while we're here. We also have, other things going on in our day, but we still like to do research, and we like to hear it from you guys first because that's my favorite part of the day is getting a notification from... They're the best. They're my favorite parts of the tweet. Like when I got the tweet about the flip-flop and just like there's so many lines going on. Ugh.
It's so awesome. And let us know what you think actually of the what was it? What is it? The Sense8 a world? What is it called again?
Creating a world.
The behind the scenes feature that's on Netflix.
You
have to watch that, and we want to know what you guys think. So let us know about that.
I know a lot of you have told me that it's amazing, and that's why I had to watch it. As soon as I found out that they were making it, that it was on Netflix. But if you haven't watched it, please go do that. I would love. I might do a video later and probably talk about it more, but we can always talk about it here if we have time. But
I'll be in on that.
Yeah,
we should do one. Let's do one.
We should do one.
All right.
So getting back into that, I love how Neats did say safety is overrated. That was pretty awesome.
Neats.
She's awesome. She's officially my favorite. I'm contemplating, guys, if I should. I'm trying to find a wig that I can dread it up so that I can dress up for the next WonderCon or Comic-Con to be Amanita. I won't have a Nomi, but I think it would still be cool for me to do that.
I'll do Nomi.
Nomi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
You're gonna have to shave all that though.
Well,
you're gonna have to do it.
Makeup.
Oh, okay. So, I'm trying to think of where we left off. Oh, yeah. So, he barely makes it in because of that whole
Turn the brightness up.
Turn the brightness up. What's wrong with you?
That has happened to me because the boarding passes on your phone now. I can't get on the plane because of that. I have to turn the brightness up in order for it to work. So I was like, hey, practical reason why it didn't work.
I'm a lame-o, and I always have my brightness up. Until I realize when I get into bed and I'm like, God, okay, turn the brightness down. What is that? Is that the sun? Anyway, so he almost so close to not making it in, and then so they don't know what room she's in. They can't find her, and then Lito's like, got this, guys, and he just flips on the charm bucket, and it's just pouring out charm to everybody.
I love Lito so much.
I
love when Lito goes up to Will. He's like, yeah, I have this. And Will's like, do I know you? Because they really haven't connected very much. And Lito says, yeah, we had sex. And Will's like, And Lito's like, yeah, it was magical. What? It was so funny.
No words, guys. No words.
The Sense8 Orgy, episode 6. Check it out, everybody.
Everybody is choosing roles for them to play as our Sense8.
Oh,
We've got Garrett being Lito. We have Andrew being Hernando.
Very nice, Andrew.
Yeah. You would make a great Nomi Cam. That was Mr. D style.
Well, 09. Thank you very much.
We got JJ being Caffey's. Oh man, we're just making all of this happen, guys. I'm so excited. So we finally find out what room she's in. Man, that whole as soon as he gets through the hazard section. Okay, guys, before we get to the magical moment of them meeting for the first time, I need to ask, why are they still using the hazmat suits? Have they ever mentioned why they need to use hazmat suits, or is it just like a precaution of just in case, or is there actually something wrong with them? every time that they were taken, there's always hazmat suits involved. Like people who had Riley in the van, she was zipped up like a Ziploc
I don't know
box.
because like the nurse didn't have one, so
yeah,
that's confusing.
True. See, that's why I don't understand. Like, is it certain people who are allowed to be around? I don't know. Maybe I'm just like over speculating or overthinking it, but I'm just confused.
Maybe to the outside world, if you're taking people into the building into that building with
we're on the clock
hazmat suits on. When you take people into the building with hazmat suits on, it might look like to the outside world a more legitimate operation versus, isn't that what you're supposed to take somebody into a hospital for if they're okay?
I just wanted to make sure that I couldn't tell if it was a front or if it was because there's actually something wrong. They haven't talked about it yet because it's season 1 and there's a lot of information to already process.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, it was confusing to me, so I wanted to clarify about that. But yes, I did forget the line. It is my favorite. We're on the clock here, fellas. Was when they were talking about sex, and then she literally stands up in between, like, we're on the clock here, fellas.
Yeah,
like,
come
let's
on.
get back.
Come
to
on.
work.
We all did it together. Move on.
Yeah, it was great. It was magical. It was great. Move on. So obviously we have Will coming in, and when he puts his hand on top of her forehead, they switch places because they finally fully
Did you
connected.
expect that?
No. I was trying to figure out if anything would happen if they touched. It was crazy. It was absolutely
I thought it was
crazy.
going to be like fine because
And I love the little montage they had.
Gah!
It was like 80s little montage without the music. It was adorable.
It was
I
so
loved
good.
it. I was like, they're here. I'm surprised you didn't scream. You've been wanting this forever.
No, I screamed. I screamed
did?
a lot. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Your neighbors must hate you.
They really do. I'm going to take that little montage and add like a 80s theme song from TV to it, like the Full House song or something.
Oh no, I'm thinking of something.
Everywhere.
Oh no, I wasn't thinking of that one.
You're
Okay,
right.
I was right. We did skip the fact that Sun technically, in order for Will to get in there, because there's 4 guards, and Sun was like, "That's
Please,
all."
come on, fellas.
And he just she literally just ripped them all apart. That was fantastic.
How did you feel, this being the season finale, this just reminded me of this point. How did you feel about Sun, Leto, who was the other one? Sun, Leto, Cap, and somewhat Kala, just being there when they were needed and then not at all?
That's what I needed.
Were you okay with that?
Yeah, it was it was kind of like, that's what this is for when things go wrong, they can rely on each other. That's what a cluster in my brain is.
Yeah, no, I was just
like
wondering,
Super
like,
Friends.
from a viewer's perspective, knowing that it's the season finale, if you were bummed you didn't get to see everybody evenly. You know what I mean?
No, I think it was pretty even to a point. I mean, I feel like obviously Nomi was the most used character besides Riley and Will on that one because she was the one that was running the operation.
Right.
But I did like that there was enough time to throw everybody in there.
Okay.
Like literally everybody. Wolfgang was there. I was pleased, and because
I
we don't
felt
get
the same way. I was just curious.
No, and it sucks because that's why I said I wanted to see more of this throughout this season. It just didn't happen.
Yeah.
But the finale was so flawlessly done. It was great.
Yeah, because there's a big risk of it if you make them too present on screen. It's so circumstantial at that point because it's really like I'm doing this because I know that we have to give them all equal screen time or something.
I mean, no, it makes sense. I can see some people complaining about that, but because of how this one works, because we didn't really get a lot of them interacting between each other instead of like pairing off, kind of. That was going to be really bad. I needed someone to save me from my cup falling over. That's why seeing them have, and I think it helps because they're doing stuff that we know that they're good at. I think if they were just hanging out and talking, some people would be like, oh my God, get to the point. But because Sun was doing her thing, kicking butt, Cap was driving, Wolfgang was, being Wolfgang or Wolfie, it made sense.
Yeah, I liked it.
8 types of sense.
Nice.
Thanks.
8 types of sense.
8 types of sense. So Will, like we said, they finally have their touching moment. He carries her out when she finally wakes up.
Yeah.
And I sat there and I'm like, how is he supposed to get her out of this building while she's obviously so
glad he
drugged
said
up?
something.
Yeah. He's like, I can't carry her out. And nobody's like, how are we supposed to do this? And I love how then Kala shows up and she's like, I know how to wake her up. It's going to be violent, but I can get her to be awake.
That's
and
how I
it
wake
worked.
up every morning. Go! What is going on?
That was the worst. I feel bad for your lady callers.
No, I was.
Anywho, so It was very cool
Alexis.
to see her medical background. Sorry, I had to do it. It was just open.
I love you.
Helps her with the fact that her medical background played a lot these past 2 freaking episodes. I'm so sad we didn't get to see more of that.
But that's when she's like truly in badass mode.
Yeah, and I love that about her. She's very confident in her knowledge of things. But the fact of this wedding and everything that was happening, it was mostly around that, and I kind of felt bad that that's what her main story was. I didn't know how smart she was until these last 2 episodes.
How quick to action.
Yeah. It made sense. Like, anybody who was usually in that situation would kind of cower a little bit. But she was like, no, I know exactly what goes with what, and this will save you because I care about you. Great.
A tear drawn to my eye, Kala.
Yeah. And then, obviously, we had Jonas being tortured for information, which I was like, so okay, now, guys, I don't really... This is where it comes back and forth for me now. Yeah. Obviously, he was a prisoner at this point because why would you kill your asset? Just saying.
Right. I was happy that was resolved because I remember having the conversation last week of, is he good or bad? We can't really tell. But I'm glad that was kind of proven one direction or the other. Yeah.
So I'm hoping that because she, bringing up because everyone's talking about Colin in the chat that I hope that they bring up more of her in the second season and her medical background. I feel like it would be smart. But yeah, Jonas, the whole Jonas thing was crazy. And they get to the elevator, Whispers know that they're in the elevator, and then the most heart-dropping, gut-wrenching moment of this whole frickin' thing was when Will was just staring out just to see if anybody was coming through the doors. I mean, that's what I'm assuming, why he was looking out the front of the glass elevator doors. And, I mean, I don't know. I'm just complaining because I was very upset at this moment. I was so mad. I was like,
also
are you
happy.
Freaking kidding me? No, I wasn't happy. I was very upset.
I was very upset at what happened, right? But I was happy at the way that it happened because what I didn't want to see, because I want everything to be very real. Again, in a world where people can read each other's minds, I want it to be a situation where it is like that, not some situation where it's like, hey, look into my eyes, fool.
Yeah.
Oh, we have stared a gaze.
Okay, yeah,
I like better that it's
like,
like,
it was like, surprise!
Wonder if there's anybody out. Oh, damn it.
No, it was ridiculous.
Shoot.
No, like, no. I'm gonna use this word because that's exactly how I felt when it came up. I went, oh shit, like straight up. I was there going, oh my god, 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 oh my god. I was just, I had to rewind what happened because I was sitting there going, no.
Yeah.
No, it was too quick. But no, it was so slowed down that you were just like, nope, obviously they made eye contact. Yeah. They were staring at each other. And he sat there and he was just like, shit. And he's like, hello, Will. And I was like, no. It was the worst.
I was so upset. I also just hate Whisper's face.
Oh my god, it's the worst. It's so funny because when you're watching Creating of Worlds and
is
you
he
see...
like a happy person?
No, but it's so funny because when you watch him talk, that's just how he normally talks, and it drives me insane.
No, what? Are you serious? Ew!
He's just like,
stop it.
He's just like, oh, traveling the world was so amazing, and it was fantastic. Like with a giant smile, and I was like,
I went to an audition, and oh god,
no,
stop.
You're so creepy.
Don't
you're hired.
I don't want to see your eyes.
But no, that's just, yeah. That moment there was the one where I was like, I don't even want to continue. We're all dead. We're all dead.
We're all done. But
I wish if you could see my notes, it's just one word. After it's a giant. It's a
4-letter word.
It's a 4-letter word. It starts with an F. It's the worst. So now they find the ambulance. And
they did. They got that. And Cap appeared.
Yeah, and he couldn't. There was no keys, and I'm so glad there was no keys. That would have drove me insane if he was like, oh, keys!
They're in the visor!
Yeah,
and, like, I hate that. No, when movies and TV shows do that, it's like, nobody keeps spare keys in their glove box.
Or in their
or in the visor.
Sun visor.
That is this. Are you serious?
No.
Oh, there they are.
Bye, Felicia.
No.
Like, no, that's not how that works. So I hate that. It's like my pet peeve of like, that's not how life works. So the fact that he was like, I'm so mad. Like, there's no keys. Capsule like, I got this. And like,
Van Damme breaks down all the time.
His way and opens up. And he knows exactly where the little latch to open up. Because I have the hardest time trying to find how to open the stupid hood of a car. I'm like, where is it?
You know what I loved about that part was like, there was like a piece of cap where he's like, yay, I get to do something. And then he's like jogging like, yeah, gonna start the car. Go ahead. And
no, I was like, that's it. I was okay with that. I was like, thanks, Cap. It was nice to see you.
Yeah, because we got closure on his storyline last week.
We did. So and I was like, there's no need for him to be all kinds of involved. He had his death threat. It was all good. But yeah, so he jump starts the car and they just start driving and everything's all hunky-dory until they get into the helicopter and craziness. And of course, Whispers is all up in his ear, whispering sweet nothings. like,
Will.
This is not what you want.
Swing by Burger King for me. Also.
Get me some chicken fries.
Also, you're screwed.
You're screwed. That's so nice.
Dear, love Whispers.
Love Whispers.
P.S. Make it a large meal.
Extra chicken fries. Mike in the chat said, Cap, the car whisperer. Yes, because Cap is a teddy bear. Thanks, Pamela. I love that. Andrew's like, Alexis, it takes me about 10 minutes to find the special latch to open my truck hood. The struggle is real.
It's so true, though.
Thanks, guys.
You guys are so
That's how I felt. I was just like, oh, apparently he just knows how to open every latch on a freaking car hood.
He knows. That was not the first Ford F-350 van that he's ever tried to open.
I'll take it. So obviously they're driving and Neats has the brilliant idea, because obviously it's just a long windy road, like where are you supposed to go? Nomi brought that up, and then Neats was like, oh, there's a little bit of fog happening in this region. Weather. And they were gonna hide there. Sadly enough, it's the same exact road that they took. Or Riley and her husband and her very pregnant self.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, wow, they really threw that back in there. That sucks. And
that's where we see Will.
So, guys, I have to bring up the fact that we'll stop at Burlington's. Nice, Mr. D style.
Oh, yes! Yes! Who said that?
Mr. D style 09.
Mr. D style 09. You just made a Burlington Code Factory joke, and I love you.
Yeah, it just says, we'll stop by Burlington's. That's what it says in the chat. If you guys don't know what he's talking about, Cam, if you follow him on Twitter, he randomly tweets about Burlington Coat Factory. Apparently he's trying to meet a lady there. Or a person. Or a friend.
You never know.
You never know. Sensate.
You never know.
We usually just hang out there and try on coats.
Great deals on family attire for you and your senseis.
He's not sponsored, I swear. So she's having a panic attack in the car, and then all of a sudden, Will just looks down. He's like, and I was like, I thought, did anybody else? Okay, maybe it's just me and my really, really gross mind thinking.
Thought she was gonna come out.
No, I thought his water was gonna break. I was like, what's happening? Is this water breaking? How does that work? You don't have a vagina.
I thought the camera was gonna go down and there was gonna be a baby coming out of him.
Oh, that would have been so weird. I think that would have been like Wachowskis. Whoa, pump the brakes. That would have been really weird.
Guys.
No, I was expecting his like pants to be wet from like water or something, but that would have been crazy if it was just like,
You know what though? I bet they thought about the water breaking thing.
And they're like,
there's a percentage of people watching this show who will just think he was scared and peed his pants.
Himself. Yeah, it wouldn't have made sense.
But the belly,
unless there was blood, there could have been blood there. I think that would have been more awkward. But yeah, I get it. But yes, that was sympathetic pregnancy. Thank you, Taylin. That was whoa. I mean, there's such thing as sympathetic pregnancy, and you get a little chubby, but like that man had a pregnant belly, like straight up. He was preggers. Whoa. There was no prego. He was prego. Like that's like straight up. So
Lego his prego.
Like for real.
It was there.
That was so scary. I was just like, I just loved his reaction was so real. It was so crazy.
Good. God, what the
He's so angry.
So good.
So obviously, they don't really crash, but they do come to a screeching halt, and she just starts running up the mountain. I felt bad because it was such a serious moment, and I was dying after he had the pregnant belly, and she's just scurrying herself up the hill. I was just like, I feel like I'm watching a comedy for like a split second, and they got real quick. So obviously she's freaking out, and she's like, this is where I'm supposed to die. Jonas said, like, this is it. You know, the fact that you messed up, and I mean, it wasn't his fault, but, you know, Whispers is in your head now. The only way to do is protect them. And of course, Angel shows up, and she's like, protect them. And then, like, disappeared. And, like she does. And she, Will had a tiny moment where he pulled the gun out that he took from the guard, and I was like, nah, he's not gonna do it.
No,
Did you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, he came up with the solution though. I think,
which was
like in the
risky.
short term works, but in the long term, I'm curious how that.
Okay, so
works
obviously,
out.
I'm just gonna wrap it up in a tiny bow because I want to get to predictions on this one because oh my gosh. But so obviously Will runs back down the hill, which was again another funny moment because it's just that helicopter shot and he's just like waddling down the mountain. I was like, I gotta get to the thing. Yeah. And he just starts grabbing anything he can grab in the back of the ambulance, and he sits there and he drugs himself up to knock himself out because he's the only one that has connected to the Whispers. And he expresses his beautiful, beautiful love for Riley, which we were like, yay! And then it fades to white.
Quick love, by the way. Quick love.
Very quick. And
fade to white, yeah.
Yeah, fade to white, and then we're in the boat with everybody for the first time all together in the boat. And he said,
"Were they in person?"
No.
But still.
No, because there's a shot where you see the boat and they're all there, and then the camera goes around the boat, and then it's just Riley
you're right.
and Will.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but it was just really cool to see them actually all together, but they weren't actually all together. It drove me insane. And that is how our season finale ended.
That's how it happened.
So, thoughts before we get into predictions of the whole first season.
Oh,
Go.
what? I'm supposed to put that into a sentence?
Yes. Two sentences.
Loved
I'll give you
it.
2 sentences. Maybe a haiku?
I'm not good at that. But I love how much I was challenged as a viewer to get on board with everything that was happening. Because I think that's pretty rare.
Right.
In shows. Because a lot of times shows feel the need that they have to explain things too much to the audience.
Right.
And I like that this show
Doesn't
so
explain
far
anything at all.
has explained nothing. Has left me
nothing at
up
all.
at night wondering how the hell these people are doing what they're doing. But I love it for that reason.
I mean, I'm so sad. I really wanted to know what Nicholas felt about this episode. Maybe he'll put up a video later.
Yeah.
But it was just so crazy how this journey went from just learning a little bit about their lives and really getting to know these characters, and then just gut punching you with every single moving thing you can think of about these characters, and really throwing them in such a dangerous storyline that really brought them all together and made them really care. Hands down, it took me a really long time to be like, holy crap, this show is good. It was more like, okay, I'm on board. I can't wait to see what happens. Yeah. And then, oh my God, I was like, oh my God, I want to know what happens to these characters. They are part of my lives now. And I love that. And I cannot wait. And now that I know how they made it, I have a whole different perspective.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch that.
You should. It's not that long.
God, it's such a strong cast. That's another thing.
Yes, that's the other thing that I loved about this cast is that they were all, that's why I also want you to watch it, because they're not locals. They're locals of the countries and the continents that they were in.
Yeah, which is
interesting because I think Cap, even though he's in Nairobi, I think he's British. I need to double check on that. He did have an English accent in the making of.
Interesting.
But I need to double check that. If anyone wants to correct me, please. But I'm very excited for season 2, and I definitely want to jump into predictions.
Let's do that.
Quick.
Prediction time.
Yeah. While we do that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to bring out some things.
Oh, you're bringing out some things?
Well, just one thing, actually.
Oh, okay.
So, Nicholas wasn't here, but I have his gift later. We have a special notice from a man named Garrett.
What?
Yeah. He says...
What do you mean?
He says, thanks, guys, for a great season. Can't wait for season 2. Enjoy these.
What?
He sent us a giant box of Miss Fields cookies that says thank you on it.
Are you serious?
No, this is for real. I got it yesterday in front of my door, and there are mini cookies.
Who sent this?
Garrett. Yeah, he's in the chat right now.
Garrett, thank you so much. Are you kidding me?
Garrett Farney.
Garrett, thank you so much for sending us that. It's very sweet of you.
We really appreciate it. I think you're an amazing person, and you can go ahead and snack all you want. There's oatmeal cookies, chocolate chip, double chocolate, and snickerdoodles.
Garrett, you will enjoy every bit of this as we do because you are connecting with us via our mind.
Yes. And there is a specific box for Nicholas because he is gluten-free, and I have that at home. So if Nicholas, you were watching, I have it at home with me.
He got his own box.
He got his own box.
What the heck, Garrett?
But we got more cookies than needed.
Garrett, we're good again. Thank you so much, for real.
So thank you, Garrett Farney, everyone. Oh, I just got stuck in
predictions, though.
Yes,
I think
I'm gonna eat a cookie while you're doing that.
Do it. Season 2 is gonna be more of what we saw in this episode. That's my prediction. We have now established a world, and we're going to see them live in it. Alexis Torres, your predictions. I did that on purpose. I did it on purpose. Thanks again, Garrett, for the snack. This is called stalling for your co-host while she eats sweetened goods.
Okay, I'm better.
There
now.
you go.
Jesus, I'm all over the place. No more alcohol for me. So, I think my prediction is I'm really worried about Will. I don't know what we're gonna do about that because sure we can drug him up as much as we want.
Yeah.
How is that supposed to help us?
Long term, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I don't know what we're supposed to do about that.
Yeah.
So, I don't have any predictions besides the fact of obviously they're gonna have to meet up soon.
Sometime, yeah.
But I don't specifically know how they were going to be able to fight the Whispers. Obviously, if Jonas is still going to be alive, I have no idea. I'm really worried about season 2.
It's going to be okay.
I don't know.
Or it will not be.
If anybody has any predictions, please throw it in the chat. Andrew said, hunt down the Whispers and let Wolfgang blow them away. That's my wish.
That is a good...
Not so much of a true prediction.
It's a good plan, though, Andrew. It's a good
plan. The cluster before will appear. That is JJ's prediction.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I mean... and also they have to kill Sun's brother and get Sun out of jail. That is definitely a thing I forgot about.
That needs to happen.
Yeah.
Sun needs to escape.
Free Sun! Thank you, Pamela. Yeah, I think a meet and greet needs to happen. I definitely think that Will's future is definitely in a weird balance. So actually, the whole cluster is in a weird future. Like their whole future is in a weird balance. And I don't know. I'm a little afraid that the old cluster isn't going to help them because their only option that they were giving was that Riley had to kill herself. Yeah. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It will be nice though to finally see that Will and Riley are together though, like in person. So that'll be nice. But I don't know. I don't have much to say about that. I'm leaving an open mind about season 2 because I don't want to get my hopes up for anything. But I know the one thing I am mainly worried about is Will and his plan or their plan with everything.
It's gonna be okay though.
It's gonna be hard. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
It'll be even better because Garrett has sent us such delicious treats,
and I will be stuffing my face in sorrow. Guys, I can't believe that it's over.
It?
Yeah, this is it. This is our last show of Sense8 until season 2, which we don't even know when that's happening. So, gotta keep us updated with that. I don't even want to say this, but Cameron, you gotta tell them your Twitter. This one last time.
Alexis, you guys can follow me at The Only Camshaft, Twitter and Instagram. CameronLewis.com is a website. Tweet me. Let me know what you think. Thank you for the cookies, Garrett. Subscribe to that podcast, and thank you for the support all season. Also, Nicholas Grava, check him out on Twitter. He's been with us all season. Couldn't be here tonight, but he appreciates you guys as well. Alexis, tell them where they can find you.
You guys can find me all over social media and where Alexis Torres is sold at atorres890. Don't forget to follow my vlogs, which I'm going to make one tonight before I go to bed because I didn't get to do that earlier today. I am so happy that I got to do this panel with you guys. Also, don't forget to follow Nicholas Grava at Nicholas Grava. I am trying not to cry on air right now.
Don't quit!
I'm not going to do it.
It's going to be
I'm gonna be okay.
Have a cookie.
Thanks, guys. I can't right now, but thanks, guys, so much for hanging out with us. I really appreciate all the tweets and the support and the chat. Like, you guys are all amazing. You're just amazing. I'm going to high five Cameron.
Yeah!
And that was a terrible high five. I'm going to do one more. There it is. Thanks, guys, so much. We love you all. Have a great night. Good night, Pamela, and we'll see you later.
Bye, everybody.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.